Tasty pudding.
yeah.
Pudding pies is where it's at.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss chocolate pie. Kitty! Hello, little kitten. All cats are kittens.
Yes. And hello, everyone. I think we are back, and we have managed to reconnect from the network after
I'll take it.
after I fell through. So I got distracted because you were trying to figure out a plan, and where were we?
We were discussing the fact.
We beat him while you were gone.
Perfect.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we killed all the Grimm.
Done.
The entire universe.
Yeah, they're all
Grimm. Yeah.
right.
We were basically deciding plan B was to rig explosives.
Okay.
It's possible that they would have the firepower to deal with one ship, one scout ship.
Yeah, how do we feel like our ship would match up to their ship?
That was the question. What kind of ships are they?
So from the ships behind you, it looks like they have been steadily gaining on you since you left. And knowing that they have more resources than you do, most likely they're going to have more weapons on their ship than you have on yours. So the chance of them blowing you out and blowing things up are pretty high.
How are the Grimm as kind of like tacticians, pilots?
They're not like Walking Dead. They're not like zombie. Like they retain like their smarts, and especially with a lot of people's belief that they have that hive mentality. If one of them's smart, well, they're all pretty smart.
I think one of the other plans was maybe we could pilot them into an asteroid field. Like, could we outfly them in an asteroid field?
It depends on how confident you are in your pilots.
All right, look. Presuming that we use the corkscrew maneuver. Repeatedly. I think we should be okay. All right.
I say we, and I look to the other two scientists, work on trying to get some sort of pulse set up. You guys fly through that asteroid field.
My bonus to flying is actually not bad. I literally only need an 8 on the die. The problem is my dice only go.
Are you out of fate, or are you out of
Favors?
favors?
I do have some favors.
Okay, then
last
I say
session,
we take flying through an asteroid field.
Yep.
The last session, I actually wasn't very resource heavy on me because I kind of got out of the fray and tried to be a little more tactical.
So as you're about to do this, it's taken a little bit of time for you all to talk amongst yourselves, for Matisse to start collecting things, to start building an explosive. You get hailed again. Are you going to accept it or ignore it?
I will accept it.
You see the same 3 Grimm. Hello. This is your last opportunity to slow down, let us board your ship, and take that worm from you. We will not give you this offer again. We would much rather see you obliterated than see you escape our grasp.
So do we have any nearby like asteroid belts or some kind of debris fields or something we can kind of use as cover?
Sure, like not too far up ahead. Like as you've been trying to figure this out, you've already been thinking about asteroid belts. So you've kind of started navigating a little bit to the left as you're working your way towards a pretty thick belt that you feel like you could do some crazy ass maneuvers to really have them bang up their ships.
So that's where I'm gonna head. I'll be like, yeah, we're slowing right down for you right now, and then I punch it.
Awesome. So you can spend. So the ship has this ship has 4 power, and you can, if you want to spend one of those power to like accelerate faster than you would normally go and burn one of those power to give yourself a little boost to get more distance, you can do that.
No, I don't want to do that yet. I have
Okay.
a different idea I want to try and do. Heading for the asteroid belt, debris belt. I'm looking for something big, something that like ships would have to go around.
Okay. Roll a presence test.
All right, piece of cake.
Here's the thing: if you
That's
were
a
willing,
19. Is this a piloting check or just presence?
This is just, I'm just seeing if you see, observe, and see.
17.
Yeah. So you definitely see one. And Dr. Z, what were you about to say?
here's the thing: if you were willing to just blow this thing up, we'd already be dead. Why would you have bothered chasing us?
They're after the scientists, I think.
Exactly. Cut the frequency.
Cal?
Cutting the frequency.
All right. CC. Did you say, did you find a large asteroid?
Oh, I don't tell anybody what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm going
So
to
the
charge that large asteroid,
Uh-huh.
and I want to just try and skim over top of it.
Okay.
And then once I crest it, I want to drop behind it.
Uh-huh.
And then I want to burn that power cell to kind of drop under it and kind of like slam on the brakes.
Okay. Roll a piloting to make all this magic happen.
Should be a piece of cake. Oh, that's a 18.
All right, you do that. You fly over, do exactly what you just said, and then you burned one of the power to do what? To just slam on the brakes?
Slam on the brakes.
Okay.
And kind of hide underneath of it.
Okay, so you not only do you slam on the brakes, but you kind of hit reverse is what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, when they come around or over top of it,
Mhm.
I want to let loose on them
Okay.
from that position.
Okay. They you go over and they come down following quickly. Both ships they're smaller ships, but they're kind of speedy. They come down and then you see them, and then you're gonna try and shoot them with the guns that the ship has.
Yeah, everything we have. And if that's something you can burn another power thing for, I would absolutely do that.
Okay, you can burn another power to give it extra damage.
Okay.
So that you're like putting more energy into these energy weapons. First, roll to hit. It did have the 2 main ones in the front, and then the side guns as well. So you want to do both left at the one ship on the left, and both right at the one on the right.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit. This is just going to be a piloting skill.
All right. So if it's a piloting skill, it is a 13.
Okay, that hits, and then roll 3d6 and let me know what you get. Yeah.
Do I have anything that can scan for worms on me or on this ship?
That's a 13.
I don't think so. Like this ship doesn't have like a med bay or anything like that built into it.
Okay.
Oh, and you said you wanted to burn energy, so go ahead and roll another d6.
All right.
Sorry, I forgot that.
That brings it to a 19 points of damage.
You lay in on the blasters, and you see these ships, like, not only do they get hit, but they get pushed back, hitting asteroids, and that additional damage is happening from that as well, and they get knocked out of your line of vision as you shot them down.
What is going on up there?
They're shot down, like
you shot them, they hit the asteroids, and then they drifted off because the asteroid field, you can't see exactly where they are, but they look like they got damaged pretty good.
Okay, with that, then I'm gonna just kind of drift back out of the asteroid field and take off. Those two are gone for now, but I'm sure there's gonna be more where they came from. Also, our need for fuel has increased a little.
And
While all this is going on, I'm going to be working with the 2 scientists to try to rig something up. If we have to use pieces from the comms from the ship communication. We'll cannibalize it.
Okay. They look over everything that you have, and they're confident. They feel like there's a lot of pieces of the ship that they're going to need to build this, because they just don't have all the equipment that they had at the previous testing facility that they were on. Like they're probably going to need most of the power supply that goes to the weapon systems of the ship, because it's going to help amplify the signal that gets shot out. So they're going to need that, and that's gonna be the biggest piece. So in order to make it work, they're going to need the weapon systems that the ship has.
I don't like the idea of knocking out our weapons.
Well, do you think we're far enough along that we can make it to where we're going and not have to deal with the ground?
What we're going to do.
Okay. Has there been any other signal from them?
Not yet.
So you
I'll
start.
fill them in on what actually happened, outside the ship.
Okay. Well, as that gets filled in, you do not seem to notice anybody else on your sensors with anybody else tailing you at the moment.
I'm going to walk over to Kynes. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Are you all up in the cockpit?
No, I'm down with the scientists in
Down with
the.
the scientists. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been out in the hold still. So I'm just kind of what I've been doing during this time is just going over the information that I have downloaded and the vector has burst to me, and the controls, and familiarizing myself with all of those things.
Okay, very good. You have a very good knowledge of how all of these things are supposed to fit together and all the pieces are supposed to work now.
Is it good enough that I think I could operate this? Like, I could maintain the worm. Like, obviously, if it gets cracked open or if somebody drops weird stuff into it, what's the chances of that happening?
Right.
It might vary, but the basic maintenance of caring for this worm now, do I have a decent grasp of?
Yes, you have a good idea of how to keep this machine functioning and operating smoothly,
Cool.
and even how to connect it to other pieces as well.
Okay. Yes, Dr. Captain.
Making sure the other two scientists are not nearby or in earshot. I'm having a really hard time trusting these two, the scientists.
I find it questionable anytime somebody uses worms in an attempt to benefit humanity.
Well, consider me on your questionable list, then. That's what I used to do.
Used to be an objective word there, Captain.
Fair. I really don't like the fact they suggested taking out our weapons. That's a big red flag to me. I'm having concerns that they're not on our side.
I think, like many people, we might find that they are on their own side.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering if you'd help me keep an eye on them.
Of course, Dr. Captain.
Thank you. I don't suppose there's any chance that the data you got from the first place talks about this thing at all, does it?
I have not cross-referenced that data. I can if you'd like.
If you wouldn't mind.
Of course. It was a different set of experiments. Does it seem directly connected in any way, shape, or form?
The things from that lab, the experiments there do not, but the final pieces that were part of that do connect to this piece.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But
that I know. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure there's no the research data there and the research data here, not the same experiments.
no, completely separate.
Overall,
Yep.
giant inoculator for the universe.
Right.
Same project. Cool.
Yep.
Other than the parts and pieces that we have secured, there does not seem to be any connection in the types of research. As a matter of fact, it seems that the pieces of research were somewhat oppositional to each other.
You have the research from the last facility?
Only my notes from it.
Unfortunate. I was going to say that would render those scientists obsolete.
Oh, you mean from the one that we just left? I'm sorry, I thought you meant the first one. No. I have all of that information. We can kill the scientist whenever you would like.
Let's do it.
So, Dr. Octave Motorhead and Dr. Bertram Gosler are just sitting in that room, waiting to see what happens next.
Seems like you went through a lot of trouble to remove that worm for nothing.
Yeah,
Just
a lot
for
of effort.
practice.
Yeah, did Matisse hear this about the captain's orders?
No, you were in a different part of the ship
Yeah.
putting your bombs together.
I swear to God, I've had two great ideas with this bomb, and I couldn't do either because I didn't hear none. All right, have I finished my bomb?
Wait a minute. No, the ships are gone. Never mind.
I'll send a private message to like all the crew, like audible to y'all, but not necessarily out loud, for the crew members to report to the bridge, please.
Okay. You all get the message.
I'd like to lock them in the room they're in.
Okay. You're able to do that very easily.
And before I do, can't have you wondering about the ship. I'll be back for you in a bit.
Are the Grimm still on us, or have you been able to evade them?
I think we've ditched them.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. Yeah.
And I close the door and lock it.
Okay.
And head up to the bridge.
Whatever warning klaxons go off when the hold vents, we'll just hear them going off again.
Okay.
And then if I know it's makeshift, so either if there's a control that allows me to, I'll just vent the room. But if there's not, I'll just unlock the door and let the oxygen from the room they're in vent out also.
Okay. Yeah, you can from where you are, you can unlock the door, open the door, and then it's like, and then you hit the venting, and you're able to you believe that there was probably a little bit of a struggle from hearing things over the intercom system, but eventually they hit a wall or two and then ended up working their way out through the main cargo hatch.
Oh, I mean, I'm down in the cargo hatch.
Oh, okay.
I didn't leave. I was making sure they were on their way out.
He has to enjoy his work.
Gotcha. Yes. Oh, so yes, if you were to walk over and open the door after the cargo hatch is open, you see them like hit the edge of the wall, then they fly out, and then they just get sucked out.
Yeah, like I think in Kind's mind, he paused, like you've got like, you know, gravity is somewhat suspended in the hold. You've got these kind of two floating bodies. He's got one by each ankle as they kind of float through there, and he's walking towards the exit with his back boots on, and he stops for a second. And you hear him go, "Captain, should we hang on to these bodies?"
No, I think we're good.
Would you like proof that they are deceased?
I'll take your word for it.
I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know how my memory works. I'm gonna go ahead and record me venting them out either way.
So,
Perfect.
Dr. Captain, I see
Yeah.
you decided to implement the housekeeping protocol after all.
I did.
I was just going to
We've
shoot
got-
them to begin with and make it easy.
We've got all their
Matisse,
notes. They became
I was-
obsolete, and the fact they wanted to take the weapons offline was a huge red flag.
Yeah, Matisse is like, I wanted to kill them.
Sorry.
Well,
Their bodies are floating around. I could still retrieve their bodies. if
Well, look,
you
I was
want
going to
them.
say, I was going to say that if you were going to kill them, then we could have put bombs on them and given them to the Grimm.
The Grimm are gone.
It's not all of them. I'm glad the universe is saved. There are of course going to be more Grimm.
Well, those two ships anyway.
The immediate threat is gone.
Maybe. But now we have 2 less bits of munition and 2 less reasons for them not to fall out of the sky.
Kinds, roll a perception or a presence test.
We also have 2 less incredibly suspicious individuals on the ship.
No. Look, Captain, I am not about to go against your orders, not in the slightest. But I am definitely not going to say that I would have approved of killing these 2 individuals when those 2 individuals were the only thing stopping the Grimm for killing us on sight.
I don't think they are.
What's this?
I don't think they are.
Well, I think they are. I mean, clearly the Grimm want to kill Frank, who I'm growing fond of.
We have
They don't.
We have their research notes.
Yes, but the Grimm don't know this.
They also don't know that we killed the doctors.
Well, did Heinz throw them out the airlock?
Yeah.
Because they're
So,
over there.
I don't know. Don't people like explode once they go out into space?
They so the air's sucked out, so they're like the eyes are bulging out of their heads, the oxygen's all gone. They're just they're going to be a big mess soon. What did you get for your presence test, Kinds?
So like I rolled a 13 all day. Not knowing what it is though always makes me nervous. So I'm going to spend a favor point to reduce the band of that by 1, or add +4, or do whatever.
Sure. Yep.
Makes sense to just make myself feel better about that roll.
As the cargo bay is open, and there's a little bit of a vacuum kind of pulling things out a bit. You're starting to hear you notice there's a slight crack, and you feel like there's something starting to shift in the work that Cece did on the tank. And then it might be good to shut the cargo bay sooner than later.
Oh no, that's fine. I'll get them out and get it shut.
Totally getting blamed for that.
Once everything's sealed, I say, I might advise that anyone made of organic matter steers clear of the cargo bay for their foreseeable future.
What's going on?
It appears the work that Casey did isn't sticking quite properly.
Cece?
Oh, I'm sorry. He always calls me the wrong name, so I thought it was just a thing we were doing now.
I was wondering if that was what was going on. Well played, Kinds. All right. Do you think you can make repairs that are necessary to that tank?
I can certainly begin.
That would be great. You probably have the best chance out of any of us.
Okay.
You can plug the holes with glitter.
It's what's the Japanese art of mending things with gold? It's like that, but it's just glitter instead.
Love it. You go over, and it has started to crack just a little bit. A little bit of the purple goo is starting to seep out of the crack. You should be able to repair it relatively easy, because Cece really did do a pretty decent job. There's just been a lot that's been happening down here. Roll a presence test to see how well you do at repairing it.
That's a 16.
Okay, and roll a d6 for me as well.
That's a 4.
Okay. Everything seems to go along okay. It takes a little while to get that all done. While he's repairing that, what are you all doing on the upper level of the ship?
Matisse is going to head back to his quarters. He, with the threat now kind of over at the time being, and him having this bomb that no one wants to use apparently, he's got you hear him sort of quietly muttering to himself in French. More along the lines of like, oh yeah, no, sure, that's perfectly fine. Oh, don't want to dismantle the weapons now. Super suspicious. tase and try to punch Matisse. Oh, who gives a shit? Don't worry about it. It's fine. Be trustworthy people, and you know, and yeah.
Do you actually mutter that as you're walking past?
In French? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's muttering it in French because again, he owes a lot to the captain, and it's not insubordinate.
Yeah.
But he's also so he's just being very indignant at the moment. I guess he's just like, I don't even get to kill him myself.
Z just kind of watches him with like a little smirk. She's sure he's cussing her out under his breath.
So while all that, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, CC will be piloting and monitoring the sensors to see if anything pops up.
Okay. You've managed. Nothing pops back up on the sensors. Enough time goes by that you all feel confident that you can probably get a little bit of rest, especially with 2 more days of travel to Marauder's cryosphere, so that you can heal up, get neuromancy points back, get favors back, all of that good stuff.
Nice job, everybody. Cece, if you want to take a rest, I'll take over controls for a little while. Once
Sounds good, Captain Doctor.
For the remaining 2
Get your
days
ass out of here.
on the way to Marauder's cryosphere, is there anything anyone on the ship in the Legion wants to do in that time?
The day we're going to arrive, I would like to do my chemistry.
Okay.
Let's see, those are expired. The fog expires, right?
Yep.
Fog of pleasure. Okay.
Yep.
That's expired. Okay.
Before it expires, I will go. Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I'll use one when I go to bed that night. I'll just smash one on the floor so that I can deal with the horrific stench that exists in my quarters and will never be cleansed.
Perfect.
So we have the barrel of the inoculator. We have the power source. We're missing like 50 other pieces.
There were like 2 other big pieces.
2 other big pieces. But right now, I think Kynes is largely concerned with, regardless of what it might potentially do to anyone else, what would happen if I just shot it anyway? Like, what if I connected the big power source to the big needle and shot it? That's what Kynes is thinking about for the next 2 days while monitoring Frankie.
Okay. And while you're thinking about that and looking over schematics and things and all the blueprints and the different pieces, because I'm sure that would come into play while you're thinking about it, you do come across something that you believe the next piece is. There's going to be has something to do with the word Marlowe.
Marlowe?
Yep. So, as most of you have probably familiar with and have probably been to Marauder's cryosphere before, it really is like an ice planet, and it's all these rings of ships connected by tubes, almost like tubes that you would connect on like going to board a plane. It's like you would dock somewhere, you would have where you leave your ship connect maybe to one bigger tunnel and then go in and make your way through a tunnel to another ship, to central hubs like in the bigger circles, like almost like a spoke system. In the center, there's areas where people set up shops, have small restaurants, things like that. So it's very flea market-ish, like, but
Yeah.
weird space Mos Eisley kind of mix up of that sort of thing.
So here's my thoughts. Kynes, you said you got the notes from that last lab. I'd like to look over them. Can you load them into the computer?
Certainly, Dr. Captain. And trying to think, I think Kynes has zero hesitation about uploading the entirety of that set of data.
Okay.
I want to study this and make sure that they were actually building something to fight against the Grimm and not something that would assist the Grimm. With my background in researching something kind of similar.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the rest, can I trust you guys to go get the fuel source? And take care of whatever else needs to be taken care of?
I'm on it.
Yeah, may we? I can go get some food and supplies and other things.
Great.
I can make sure our cleaning supplies are fully stocked.
Hey,
Sounds
Doc,
good.
you mind clapping while
We're
we walk
certainly
through?
using enough of them. All right. I'll meet you guys back here in a bit.
So
Buddy, break.
you find a spot to dock in. You get hailed as you're coming in because there is one like kind of central guidance center that kind of helps make sure people go to a spot, and they guide you into Y732 for Bay Y732. They ask for a couple of moments to get it set up and ready for you to go and dock there, but it doesn't take very long, and you get clearance to go in. Is it just Dr. Z that's staying on the ship and everybody else is going out into the Marauder's cryosphere? Okay. As you dock and the doors open, it opens into like a weird kind of rigid ribbed tunnel that's just, you can feel how cold it must be outside of the corridor because this is like an ice planet, and it's just like you step outside and you will just be dead just because of how cold it is. But the ground has a little bit of bounce in the tunnel, and as it's kind of capped off at the end where you're at because it could extend and open up to another tunnel if it extended. But like as you start to walk down, it kind of opens to an exterior ring because there's like center rings, and then as the tunnels connect, there's bigger rings that go out. And as you start walking down from both sides of the other end, a short, bald man with glasses. One lens is circular, one is rectangular. He steps out, and then two people step out beside him with full blocked masks. They're just completely black in color, and they're wearing full body armor suits. Step out, and they go, and the bald guy goes, and where are the doctors on the ship?
We have half the doctors on the ship with us, and the other half are still on the ship.
And that's where we should end it for tonight, I believe.
Oh, that doesn't sound ominous at all.
It's fine.
Oh no.
Well, everybody that's tuned in and is still watching, thank you for jumping back in after our technical difficulties. This has been the next to last episode of Radical Terror, the Vast Grimm actual play. We will be back in 2 weeks on Wednesday for the final episode. I hope you will join us. Next Wednesday, there will be another episode of Network Chatter where we talk about all things Vast Grimm. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and for being here. And I hope anybody that celebrates the holidays that are coming up, I hope you have wonderful ones. It's been quite a great time to get to play with friends here tonight.